Well, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the most complete and interesting tarot reading on the internet. Nothing else like it. I mean, not even close. This podcast is not for the faint of heart. There are no rainbows, no unicorns, no la-la, no magical frequency floating all over the place that comes from outer space. It's changing. None of that. There are frequencies. They're surrounding us all the time, more and more, actually, and that's probably not a good thing. Nevertheless, that's a different discussion for another day. The point of the matter is, this is an honest tarot reading for the present. And more than simply a tarot reading, it is a complete picture of the energy frequency for the tarot now. The essential point, help you manifest from your spirit. Your spirit, your spirit, your spirit. Somewhere in the 5D, before you come here to the 3D, you make a choice, a decision about what you come back here to do if you believe in reincarnation. And whatever you choose, that is your path. Problem is, when you go from the 5D to the 3D, there's some mistranslation. It gets a little quirky, a little odd, and we kind of lose our way. So, this is where things like tarot, which I've done for over 20 years, numerology, astrology, which I've done for over 50, that is where these things come in. Not to set the path for you. You have to do that. That's your responsibility. But tarot, I have found after doing it for over 20 years, is not a predictor of anything at all. However, it is the science of potential. That frequency, at that moment, you're interacting with it. Opens some sort of door, creates some sort of opportunity. Question is, do you say yes or no to it? Even if you make no decision, that's still a decision. And then I add in the numerology and astrology, which I've done for over 50 years, because they do kind of predict, What they do are the science of cycles. Tarot, the science of potential. Numerology, astrology, the science of cycles. Upon cycles, upon cycles, upon cycles, upon cycles. That's where it gets complicated. That's where it gets difficult. That's where most astrologers, and by most I mean 99% of them, fail. Because they get wrapped up in the jargon. Ooh, you got this transiting. Ooh, you have this node. Ooh, and they throw so much shit at you in a single reading that you just cannot make heads or tails out of it. It's not clear. You're left going, well, that one thing they said was pretty good, and the other thing was interesting, but I still don't know. That's because with life you don't know. That's the idea. You have to make choices. And so that's why I do the tarot, science of potential, numerology, astrology, the science of cycles, and I put them together. Because what that does is create an interesting scenario. Think of it as setting a table for just a fabulous meal. Whatever would be your favorite meal, you're getting the table set. So it's perfect. If you want to do candles or whatever you want to do to make the setting perfect. And then the tarot is the meal. So the main focus of this reading is the tarot. It's not anything else, but the astrology and numerology come in because they help you to manifest. They give you a perspective. Depending on where you are with the numerology and astrology, what cycle you're in or coming out of, whatever, that changes the energy, or at least how you see the tarot energy. So we put the two together and gives you a really good, clear picture. It shows you where you're kind of headed, what your options are. Here is the energy. How do you want to use it? So let's begin with the foundational information I just mentioned a moment ago. That's the numerology, astrology. I call it astrologic. Today I want to take a look at something that I think is hugely important, and that is the idea of capitalism. We are sold by the people who have the capital that capitalism is the only way to go. Ooh, yeah. Well, of course they're going to say that. They're feathering their own nest. It's their game. It's their rules. Of course they're going to push capitalism. At around 1700, a guy by the name of Adam Smith formalized capitalism, wrote it down, thought it out, put it together. And the rich glommed onto it because it was them. It was all about them. It had nothing to do with you, the mass of people. Who gives a damn about them? So when Adam Smith literally codified capitalism, what it did was legitimized or legalized greed. Because capitalism is all about the individual. You can do whatever you want. Now, government should step in and regulate it because human beings being human beings, they're bastards. And the more you get, the more you want. Well, what that is that government stepped away because government got purchased. Always does, by the way. You can go back 5,000 years, longer than that. You can see what happens in Greece and Rome, what happens when the rich buy the politics. But by Adam Smith organizing the concept of capitalism, what he did was he created modern fascism. Fascism is when business owns government, and that's where we are right now, across the world. It supports the rich, it supports the game, but it destroys the masses, it destroys the people. You are pawns, if that. In fact, when they started capitalism, they got the people off the farm because they were too independent, so they got them into the city to work in factories. People thought it was a good deal because they didn't have to work like they did when they had farms. What they didn't see, however, was that they were imprisoned. They weren't independent anymore. They couldn't feed themselves. They didn't know how to grow food. They were trapped. And so, in its early stages, 1700s, 1800s, capitalism, gave people a lot of work at a price, of course, always. And then what happened was they turned the tables on us. They're doing it right now. They're called robots. Robots are replacing us. In fact, best estimates I've seen is within the next 3 years or so, robots are going to do all the jobs, virtually all. And by 2030, certainly everything. Doesn't make any difference if you're a doctor or lawyer. Well, it doesn't make any difference. It'll be computers, AI. When people were the only thing they had, they used people to make more money. Now they have robots to make more money, and again, screw the people. In fact, a man who I consider a bastard, in fact, his whole family pretty much, Rothschilds. Meyer Rothschild, 1803. He put it point blank. He said, let me control the economy of the country. You can do what you want with the government. He knew it. And take a look at government now. They don't care about the people. They don't vote for what the people want. They don't give a damn because they're not working for us anymore. It's not representation. And in fact, it's interesting. The American Revolution kind of coalesced around a theme, and that is no taxation without representation. We don't have any representation, but boy, we're being taxed. Thank you, Adam Smith. Capitalism. He legalized greed, which gave us modern fascism. Kind of an interesting situation. And the aspects were the same. 1700, 1865 at the end of the Civil War. Take a look at the economy at the end of the Civil War. And right now. Same aspects. Every time. And that's where we're headed to now. And they're telling us the lies. Oh, capitalism, capitalism, capitalism. Socialism is bad. Socialism isn't what they're selling you. And in fact, whatever they tell you is just the opposite. Socialism is public libraries, police, fire, national freeway system. In fact, our roadway system, period. How about state parks, national parks? How about Rosa Parks? The point of the matter is that we have been sold a lie, that capitalism, being greedy, is some sort of a benefit. We're seeing the end result there. So with that in mind, let's go to the meme of the day. An entire generation is studying for jobs that won't even exist. First of all, they dumbed us down. That was a Rockefeller plan back in around 1900. He designed our education system to dumb us down, to make us stupid. And if you take a look at the young people today, man, stupid doesn't even say it. But let's say you got that little group that's really trying, and they're studying for jobs, they're studying for what they think is the future. It doesn't even exist. It's going away. Again, another lie of capitalism. So let's go to the tarot cards. Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles talks about hardship, hopelessness, which is what most people are suffering from right now. They feel like these people in the card. They're out in the snow, they're handicapped, crippled in some way or another, and they're poorly dressed. Right behind them is a church. If you had other tarot cards, some of them point out that it is a church. The lights are on, they could go in, they could stay warm. They at very least could sleep on a pew and stay warm, maybe even get a meal or two, but they don't. They're not worthy. And that's what capitalism, and that's the way our education has gone. We are not worthy. That's the problem. You go to the next card, Four of Swords. So what do we need to do right now? Rest, recuperate, recharge. Pay attention. Don't close your eyes. Don't stop participating, but back down on the energy. It is summer here in the Northern Hemisphere. Appropriate time just to kick back. Watch what's going on. It's important. And as you're out of the action physically, you can, and mentally, you can recharge. You will need to be recharged. With what's ahead, trust me. So take this opportunity, take this advantage. Don't waste it. Don't put your head up your ass and quit thinking. Pay attention. Just don't get involved just yet. Final card is the Three of Cups. Talks about community group success. That's what you're after. You're after connections again. Did you notice, or have you noticed, how people are disconnected after this vax fiasco? That's exactly what they wanted to do. Separate us, break us up, put us into little groups. They're continuing to do that with race, with gender, with all sorts. Just keep us separate. Keep us separate. We're weak. That's why you need the Four of Swords to rest. Just pull out of it. Okay, let me regroup. And quit feeling like a victim. Five of Pentacles. Change that victim mentality. As you're doing so, rest, recharge, regroup, get ready, because you want to make connections. The Three of Cups. You want your connections to mean something to you. That's what humanity is all about. So this whole idea of capitalism, me, let me make all the money I can get, let me make all the money I can get, let me make me, has to change to we, a group of us. And that doesn't mean we all have to be the same. That doesn't talk about communism, everybody being the same. We're not talking about that. We're talking about emotional, spiritual connections. That's what's missing. That is exactly what we have to get ready and recharged for, because that's the prize. That's what we have to go after. That is the treasure island for human beings. So time's up. Thank you very much. As always, God, you make it all worthwhile. I look forward to this every day, this little bit of sharing. Thank you. Please like and subscribe. Very important. Tao Manifesting Tarot. Like and subscribe. It's the only tool, only protection we have from the internet and the folks who run it. So between now and the next time you and I do tarot together, peace and blessings.